Raw, real, and just a little dangerous. This is Feral.
I'm going to bring to the screen the one, the only, Eden Jackson.
I love you so much.
What a beautiful way to start a session.
Thank you.
So, Eden, when you and I were talking about what we wanted to bring to this together, one of the first times I heard you raise your voice, you empowered an entire room.
I did.
When you did, look how she owns it. I did. When you asked this really incredible question, which is like, what would a bad girl do?
I said, what would you do if you were a bad girl? No rules, no morals, no laws. What would you ask for? Like, very simple, because we've been conditioned that we don't want to hurt people's feelings. And so we don't do some of the things. We don't ask for what we want because we don't want to be inconvenient.
So why do you think that question made everybody just like lose their brain stems for 2 Mississippis? Like, why do you think that landed? And I know you must have asked it before and since, but why do you think that lands like such a Miley Cyrus wrecking ball?
Because of good girl conditioning. And when I mean good girl conditioning, it comes back to being convenient AF. I don't want to be a burden. I don't want to take up too much space. I don't want them to think that I'm asking for too much. And that's nonsensical bullshit.
You know what's really funny about that is that all people of all genders can have a big ass taste of that good girl conditioning, right? Everyone's got their own flavor of it, but dang it if it ain't true that the closer you are to female identified in this world, the louder it gets. But you know, I think about all the time, what would a bad girl do? And even in this event, I'm like, I shouldn't send another reminder email. They freaking know. I don't want to be inconvenient. The very first session is called Permission to be Inconvenient. I told y'all I made this event for me. Right?
Yeah.
But in your definition, what the heck is inconvenience and why is it aspirational?
Okay. So that's the question I get. What is an inconvenient woman? What is an inconvenient woman? So my question back is, well, what's a convenient one? My definition of an inconvenient woman, let me refer to, and also not a woman, not gender specific, an inconvenient human is someone who is no longer being convenient for everyone else's needs. They're saying what I need, and this is how I'm going to prioritize my piece. It's about taking up space unapologetically and no longer settling for nonsensical bullshit and trusting in yourself. That's what I mean when I say an inconvenient woman.
Your background, 2-part question. Number 1, tell everybody about your weird ass background. Question 2, explain
Which
to
weird
me
ass background?
all of it. I mean, it's the thing is like none of us, and I feel like this is so true of the people attending this event, none of us went like point A to point B very cleanly. We went like point A to point B very cleanly, had some kind of breakthrough, went to point C, which cascaded to point Q, which reset as point AA. Like it's all loopy goopy. So great. Tell everybody about any part of your zany, wonderful, eccentric background that you care to share. And how now, not forever, but how now and why now are you putting all your eggs in this basket, raising awareness about inconvenience?
Because I'm sick and tired of seeing women be convenient as fuck instead of powerful on purpose. So
keep talking.
Long story short, so my backstory. I'll just go back 6 months. How about that? 6 months ago, I had a nervous, I don't want to use breakdown anymore because I'm going to use breakthrough. And a friend of mine told me, Eden, all I need you to do is rest. And I was just like, I don't know what that means. I really don't know what you mean. What does that mean? Because we're at war with rest. We are conditioned that you have to earn it. And it's not, burnout does not ask for permission. And it's hella dramatic. And it comes at the most inconvenient time possible. So I found I was like, okay, just rest, whatever. I was like, you know what? Let me think back. When was the last time you can remember that you got to not hold the weight of the world on your shoulders? Where were you? What happened? And I thought, I was in water. I was like, you know what? I just need a hot tub. And then I found the tank house. And the tank house saved my life. So the tank house is a sensory deprivation tank, 1,500 pounds of magnesium salt. And you get in this tank and you float. There are no obligations. There is no distractions. And 1 hour in the tank is equivalent to 4 to 6 hours of deep rest. I floated on December 22nd, which is my birthday, by the way, just in case you feel the need to send me a gift. And I published my book by January 3rd. So I cannot stress the importance of rest. Learning to rest without guilt, without apology. You don't need permission to guilt. You really don't. Like, have you ever considered that not resting, not prioritizing your well-being is causing you to be an asshole to everybody else?
It's also a fatal condition.
It is. It really is. So that's that short piece about my...
See, but I love that because I think you also just led to a really important distinction, which is that we're saying inconvenient.
Mm-hmm.
We're not saying go out into the world and be an asshole.
Nope, sure I'm not.
There are enough assholes in this world. And the way that we claim more space that should have been rightly ours all along is not to be an asshole. So how do we disconnect the idea of being inconvenient will make me an asshole? How do we divorce that concept?
Okay, you know, you've been on a plane and the first thing they tell you is put your mask on first.
Yep.
It's the first thing they do. They give you, your little fancy thing. Here's your buckle, put it on. Here's all the exits. And in the event that we go down, put your mask on first. It's not just like some cute little bumper sticker bullshit. Put your mask on first.
Yep.
You are worthless to other people. You operate at half-ass capacity if you are not pouring into you first. When you purposely prioritize putting you first, everybody wins. Because you're no longer operating from resentment or bitterness. Well, I'm taking care of you and I'm taking care of this. Who's taking care of me? Well, by definition, it should be you. And when you do, everybody wins. But again, we've been so conditioned that we have to sacrifice. We got to make sure everybody else is taken care of first. Bro, I'm asking for 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has 168 hours a week. Every single one of us, unless you know something I don't know. But everybody has 168 hours a week. How are you intentionally making yourself a priority? How are you intentionally allocating a little bit of time to you? We have 5 main resources. And my definition of self-care is intentionally regulating your nervous system and how you replenish your resources. And when I say resources, I'm saying emotional, mental, spiritual, physical, and financial.
Yeah.
How are you refilling each of those resources? Because that's how we play. And depending on how well we play, depends on how well your rest is. You said it best. What did Gab Hayes say? Because I got it in my notes.
The quality of your rest determines the caliber of your performance. Said that in Tulsa and blew my stinking mind. Same day that Eden said, what would a bad girl do? And I was like, yo, I need to breathe between these aha moments. And Gabs will be back tomorrow talking about the very real realities of rest and transition and also packing it up, right? But yes, I mean, it is. And speaking of Gabs, thinking of Gabs, as a parent, so many entrepreneurs, which I am not, full disclosure to anybody who doesn't know me, I am not a parent, but Eden is. As a parent, so many entrepreneurs, so many founders refer to their businesses as their baby, right? What has being a parent taught you about being inconvenient that you think can apply to business?
Well, I wish I would have learned this concept earlier. My children are going to need therapy. It just is. But I wish I would have understood that I could have shown up as a better mother if I'd have been more resourced. I could have shown up as a better partner. I could have showed up as a better business owner if I would have been more resourced. If I would have taken a moment to just do something that brings me joy.
Mm-hmm.
Because here's the deal, life is going to life. Life is going to get inconvenient, and not in the divinely way that I'm referring to. And something that we have forgotten, how do you play? What brings you joy? And I did a speech at OSU on Friday. And when Danny asked me, Eden, what brings you joy? My first response was, she's like, tell them about your ducks. And so I told them that I like to go out and I watch my ducks. And my favorite part is when they go face down, ass up, and they just flip their tails and flap, 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 flap. And they just get to enjoy themselves. With that being said, Ping Ping, my duck, was killed on Saturday.
Oh, no.
I was like, bro, I just talked about Ping Ping in my freaking speech. And a raccoon, which I know you love, but I'm about over these raccoons tearing up my critters. I get it, circle of life. I get how it works. I do. But don't touch my babies.
You almost made me sing The Lion King, and nobody wants to hear that. So just keep on going with your duck nonsense.
It's a circle of life. I get it. I get it. But still. Anyways, I wish I would have learned to rest sooner so I can show up better for everybody else in my life, myself included.
What about the very real situation where, I mean, we cannot necessarily in 20 minutes of a podcast solve all of the problems of racism, sexism, homophobia, transphobia, otherisms, ableist thinking. Like, we can't try to attempt all of those things in 1 second. So I'm not even going to pretend that we can answer the question, what about people who don't feel safe being visible or being inconvenient? But I do want to say, understanding that there are very real situational, systemic, and societal things going on that may make you feel uncomfortable in this, and it may make you need to boundary this and relearn this. What are some of the fears surrounding safety of inconvenience that are just total bullshit?
Some of the fears of being inconvenient, that boundaries are going to hurt people's feelings, that boundaries are a wall, that boundaries are about keeping other people out, and they're not. Boundaries are the rules in which others get to play with you, that you set to protect your peace, your energy, and your sanity. It has nothing to do with about controlling other people. It's about teaching others how to treat you, and more importantly, teaching yourself that you deserve to be treated well.
You deserve to be treated well.
You do.
I was yelling at that all these little kids that I was in the musical with, where they were like, my boyfriend. I'm like, okay, you're 11, but sure. My boyfriend said I'm a waste of oxygen. And I'm like, well, then they aren't your boyfriend anymore. I'm like breaking up with kids on the playground for other kids. Like, no, we wouldn't let a little kid do it. Why are we letting ourselves do it?
So one of the things, speaking of ourselves, we are sometimes the worst people to ourselves. And I'll give you an example. Going potty. The amount of people that sit here and wait, and I know I got to go potty. I know I need to go to the bathroom. I know, but I'm busy and I can't. When you do that, you are breaking the trust with yourself, and you are saying, I can't do the bare minimum to take care of you. So please, for the love of God, go to the damn bathroom. When your meat suit says, it's time, you've been putting stuff in me, got to get it out. Go to the damn bathroom.
Which for cis women only increases with age. Like, low key, I have fear that while I'm hosting this thing, I'm gonna have to pay. Like, it's just,
please get up and go pee if you have to go pee.
And you know what? That'll be the example.
Eden gave me permission to go to the bathroom because I need to go.
You know, there's another musical called Urinetown where they have a song called "It's a Privilege to Pee," and that is about a dystopian society where you have to be charged to use the toilet. We are not there yet, folks. You have permission to inconveniently pee. What am I talking about, Eden?
No, it's a real thing. I watch people do it all the time. They'll sit in their seat and they're just like squirming, and I'm just like, go.
Mm-hmm.
Your meat suit is telling you everything you need to know.
Yep.
You just have to listen.
Freaking love that.
Yeah, look, she said, and don't wait to go pee and laugh at the same time. I'm gonna be real. I'm at a position in my life. I don't have one of those great bladders. I tell my kids all the time, y'all better be grateful for that great bladder you have. You have no idea. Like, I was brushing my teeth one day and it happened. And I was like, is this what we're doing? This is where we're at in our life?
Mm-hmm.
Again, all those times that I can hold it. No.
I promised y'all this event would be different. It's the third question and we're talking about pee. Okay. And I knew that
It's a
Eden
real
would bring it
thing.
because we almost talked about genitalia. So, it's fine. It's all good. Permission. So,
Right, permission.
Eden, I think I cut you off when you were talking about the 5. You want to riff on the 5 for a little bit?
Yep. Emotional, mental, spiritual, physical, and financial. Your emotional resources are your key, most important, most valuable resource. And it's the one that we actually haven't been taught. Your emotional resources are your most valuable because they're the hardest to replenish. Because again, you can't catch up on rest. You can't catch up on sleep. Also, when we are emotionally resourced, thank you, Danielle. She's got to go pee. Appreciate that. When we are emotionally resourced, we operate from a very different place. We have a clear, abundant, mindful, intentional thought pattern. Whereas when we are emotionally drained, we're not making the best decisions. We're operating from a place of desperation. We're operating from a place of fear. We're operating from a place of lack. So how are we recharging each of those resources? And if you don't know, cool, let's figure that out. Like physical resource, breath work, shaking it off. Like at my presentation, I made everybody stand up and shake like a dog. Like, how dogs just do like that?
Let's do it right now. They can only see us.
Up.
Everybody get up.
Let's stand up. Annie, you too.
Permission to jiggle. Let's go.
Yeah. And we'll stand up and then just like literally shake.
Are you doing it out there? We're not doing this by ourselves. Are you doing it?
Easy way to reset your physical resources. Breath work, shaking it off, dancing a jig, rubbing on your meat suit is a good way to reset those. Spiritual. How are you refilling your spiritual resources? Gathering with my crew is a good way. I love talking about real shit with real people. That refills my spiritual resources. Financial resources. How are we tracking those? Cool. I need clear spreadsheets. I need to be able to easily access everything instead of just hoping. Hope is not a strategy. I think Bree told me that one. What else? On my emotional and mental, Michelle said, dancing and shaking your booty always works for me. Please do.
Let's go. Throw that ass in a circle.
Legitimately, it works. And it gets out of this seriousness. Again, how do you play?
Yes.
How are we playing and not taking things so serious?
Well, and it doesn't hurt anybody.
It doesn't hurt anybody.
Stood up and shook your ass, even if you were in the middle of a freaking store. Did you have pants on? Then no one was hurt.
Well, I actually am against britches. So I won't ever tell anybody.
Meant like for kids and stuff.
Oh, for kids. I will never tell people to put on britches. Like you can wear like a dress or a muumuu.
Cover yourself in appropriate ways.
In an appropriate way.
But only to the necessity of decorum.
There you go. You got to know your audience.
You know what? That brings up a really great idea too. I would be remiss if I didn't ask you about inconvenience and consent. Again, we got like 4 seconds, but We're
Consent
talking
is
about being
everything.
inconvenient in business, and we're not talking about being disruptive assholes, right?
Nope.
So, you know, the stuff like, oh, is it inconvenient for me to send another reminder email? Maybe, but you're on the dang mailing list, so it's not without consent, though. Like, what for people that are concerned? Because here's the thing, I don't think if you're attending this event, you don't know that consent is king. And if you're watching this replay and you don't know that consent is king, I will put so many resources because it'll change your life and it'll change the lives of everything around you. Consent is a magical, magical art.
Yes.
But when it comes to grappling with ideas of consent, asking for consent, growing consent, creating communities where people are emboldened by consent, what's coming up for you when I ask those things?
So in our conversation the other day, we talked about raising prices
Mm-hmm.
and sending emails and pitching after someone's given us this, emotional thing. And you're right, the email list. If you don't want my emails, you can easily unsubscribe. Like, you gave me your email. Like, you'd be silly to not think that I wasn't going to use it. You still got to get yours. You still do. You got to pay to play. And if I have something that can help you, you'd be doing a disservice to not provide that to them. And if they don't want it, they can say no. It's very simple. No, thank you. Okay, will do. But I'm very, very big on consent. And no is a complete sentence.
Mm-hmm. How do you stand strongly in your own yes while respecting someone else's no to you?
How do I stand strongly
In your
my yes?
own yes? Like, how do you
Mhm.
let someone else's enthusiastic and totally fair no, which is a complete sentence, how do you receive a no without it becoming a personal no?
It's not personal. We don't know what's going on in somebody else's life. We just don't. There could be I remember I was meeting with a friend of mine one time. She said, "Do you want to go get drinks?" And I was like, "Yep." So we go to the Hyatt. She's like, "I'm meeting my business partner, and my business partner is going to bring her friend also." And I was like, "Cool." Her friend that was bringing her best friend ended up being a female astronaut. And I was just like, this is what we're doing? Okay, cool. But she told me I had something to tell you. And my mind raced. Oh my God, she's going to tell me this or this or this or this. My mind went to 1,000 places. Wasn't had anything to do with what I thought. Had nothing to do with me. Nothing. Make your ask. And if they say no, cool. Use that as information. Hey, they're going to say no because, they've got grandma in the home and they don't have the additional resources to do this. Cool. It's not a fit for them right now. Okay. Maybe next time when you're ready, I'll be here.
But see how calm Eden is about that?
And if you want to stay stuck in the muck, that's cool. That has nothing to do with me.
The same thing with the people don't want to receive your bigness.
Yep. That's okay.
That's okay.
It's not for everybody. That's why. So I tell everybody, not everybody likes chocolate cake. Some people like Boston cream pie or carrot cake or strawberry pie or cheesecake. We have so many options that if this isn't your cup of tea or your type of cake, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
You're missing out, but go right ahead and eat you some basic ass pie. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, I never want to let you go, but we got Danielle Weil coming up for a truly smutty copywriting presentation.
Ooh.
And then we're going to give away my trade paperbacks because, why not? But I got two more questions before you, Eden, before we all take a pee break and then bop over to the other stage for Danielle.
That piece.
The first one is this, like, again, I would be super remiss if I did not give you the opportunity to say something smutty about how sex is important as self-care or something.
Okay. Number one, you should always come first, always. And here's what I say. I do talk about sex because I'm from Kansas We're very conservative here. And the information people know about sex is about this big. And it's not. There's so much to it. And so much of the greatness gets left out. Number one, we all got here. Well, most of us, because of some kind of intimate conversation with another person. Your desires are your desires because they are. I don't know why people are into feet. I don't know why people are into this. I have no idea, and it's none of my business. But you get to ask for what you want. And when you do, it's one of the things I teach all of my women. When you have the audacity to ask for what you want sexually, you then have the audacity to ask for anything in the world. Also, for my lady friends with vagines, there are 8,000 nerves in your clitoris, and its only job is to receive sensation. So like Pokemon, please go find them all. It's like your built-in free therapy.
Oh my gosh.
It's the golden ticket, the hokey pokey. It's where it's all about.
I can't think of a better way to end this session than that.
Raw, real, and just a little dangerous. This is feral.